Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
What's going on, everybody? It is 11:02 on a rainy, gloomy Wednesday. It's Wednesday today. So thank you very much for joining us on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tell your friends about EST. Maybe they like sports betting. We got that covered. Maybe they like general good conversation. We've got that covered every day from 9 until 11. Maybe they love the Oilers. We got that on every show, and we got it on the Oil Stream today at noon. And maybe they love just excellent, static-free sports talk. We've got that for you on the Nielson Show every day, EST afternoons, and the Reed Wilkins Show. Maybe they love local play-by-play. We had that for you last night as well. Unfortunately, the Riverhawks unable to get it done, but I salute you on a wonderful season to Hogle and Randy Gregg and the entire crew over at the Riverhawks. The Lock Shop is brought to you by Play Alberta. That's what I forgot to do. I forgot to print off my prep sheet for the Lock Shop today. Trev, I'm just going to fire these over there. If you could go grab them, that would be great, buddy. I didn't have it on my to-do list. Yeah, that's the thing. I should have put it on there. I was telling Trev, I found on my computer, and I've got a pretty nice PC for a laptop. I didn't know that Microsoft had this like to-do list thing. So usually I have like a to-do list just on my notes app on my phone, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put it in my computer. And then as I get things done, I can check them off, and it kind of goes away. But I guess I didn't put print off prep. I did the prep for Lock Shop. I've got golf picks. I've got thoughts on the Jays. We've got a bunch of EST specials already up, but I hadn't printed them off yet, which is just classic. The Lock Shop is brought to you by Play Alberta. Why limit your choices when you can have it all? Play Alberta is your go-to app for casino games, sports betting, lottery, all in one place with easy access to real money games. You can enjoy everything Alberta has to offer right at your fingertips. Download now. Download the Play Alberta app now. And you know what? Over on the website, well, thank you. Thank you, Trev. Thank you, good sir. Praise Trev. I'm going to put it on my to-do list. If you are watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. You can chime in. Big Uke is saying the grandest parlay has been a roller coaster of emotions so far today in the den. Well, it's up, boys. It is up. It is waiting for you. It's something that I think we have to ride with. I also am already on the early bird bet from earlier in the day because it's plus 620. Hello? Plus 620? Are you kidding me? Vladdy, Kirk, both with hits. Jays to score first. Jays to win. Plus 620. The psychos in the den with the grandest of parlays. Atletico Ottawa to win, three-way money line versus Vancouver. The Twins to win. Ohtani with 2+ total bases. And Raleigh with the RBI for the big dumper. Also got some CFL parlays still kicking around over there. Plus 392, Elks to win, Riders to win, or Riders minus 2.5, Lions minus 2.5. Red Blacks plus 12. This is the one Maddie and I put together on Lock Shop yesterday. We moved it 6 points in a bunch of different ways. Like a 6-point overall teaser. It's plus 280, actually, which is pretty good for a 6-point teaser. Red Blacks plus 12. Argos and Elks over 47.5 points. So 48 plus points. Ticats plus 10. And the Lions plus 1. And it's plus 280. If you want to ride with that as well. So all of those are waiting for you. Play Alberta's website has actually been updated a little bit. So what you can do is when you go to the EST specials page, click outrights, and then you go down. And if you don't see the grandest parlay, you just have to hit show more. And then that one will pop up. So it's a little bit different. It's not like crazy different, but I'm on it enough that I noticed a couple of the differences. So I messaged them. I was like, hey, has the website been changed or upgraded slightly? And they said, yes, it has. So just a heads up, might take you 2 seconds to get used to, but everything is still there. Just got to find it. All right, let's bring in Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk. Huss, you missed a hell of a show yesterday. Awanik tested me to see if I'm ADHD live on the show. And I almost am. You had to have like 1499 score. I was 1450. So I didn't get diagnosed with ADHD on the show yesterday, which was a lock shop first, really.
What was the... Geez, I'm glad I missed that one. I hope he doesn't pull that one out on me. What's the...
I can't remember why it started.
What was the test? Like, how was it administered?
It's just he found questions online that you ask to see what the answer is, and then maybe your ADHD. But it was pretty funny. If you want to go back and watch the first 20 minutes yesterday, we were off the rails.
I'm gonna have to go and check. that out.
Yeah, it was interesting. I will say that. So I can't remember why it started that way. Something was going on, and then I was like, maybe I'm ADHD. And then we're like, well, let's do a test on it. So it was a fun show yesterday, buddy. Fun show. How was your time yesterday?
Well, it was great. We were out at the at Breezy, the golf course that we work with that's hosting the Manitoba Open. So they did a little media event and did the show out there. Going to be doing the shows. I'll be joining you from there from Tuesday until Friday of next week, which is going to be a lot of fun. We did have a funny. Many of you particularly might be going, Huss, after such an amazing weekend in the Canadian Football League, where is CFL 110? Well, and things will happen when you have newer, younger employees. But this always happens once.
No.
And shout out to our guy Connor, amazing, doing so much good stuff for us. We recorded a banger of an episode right before I left, and then found out that something wasn't toggled properly.
No,
the audio wasn't there. So
it happens.
We had a 1 hour dry run. Well, it was fun. I mean, listen, I'm not one of these guys that, like I said to him, I said, hey, Connor, everyone gets a mulligan. This is your breakfast ball, if you will. But I did, like when you screw up when you're younger and, like whatever, you got bosses, they can kind of handle things two ways. Like there's some guys that are like real dicks and they'll like either hold it over you or they can't get over it and they're just like steam, like they won't say anything about it, which is the worst. I mean, then you're sitting there going on. So I sort of laughed about it, but he joined me on the show. So when we started Winnipeg Sports Talk, and he was still rattled about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, so blah, 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 going. So we just get right into it. And I just said, hey, Connor, how was your morning? And he came on. So we had a good laugh about it. But the reason I bring this up, A, for the laughs and a little bit more content out of the mess of yesterday, CFL 110, we did live this morning at 9 o'clock our time, I think. So
did you do it live so Connor couldn't ruin it?
No. Listen, he's more than capable. He's done so much stuff. Listen, this all basically is because Remus is away on holidays.
So it's Remo's fault.
Like, think about what happens to your place if I want to just took off for 2 weeks and was not around. Now Remus
it wouldn't be good, but let's not give him too much credit. Okay.
Yeah, okay, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, listen, I'm the exact same way. I mean, let's dial it back a little bit for these guys. But anyways, again, it was a small little thing that normally would be done. But yes, the live show was great. Actually, I had a lot of people jump in the live. We hadn't really promoted it. We just kind of had to do it and get it up. But for those of you that love the CFL, listen, I was so fired up to do this show. I mean, frankly, if there was ever a week to talk about it twice, this was it. So anyways, it's up right now at Winnipeg Sports Talk. So go check that out. Leave a comment, give a thumbs up. And of course, it'll be up on the podcast soon if it's not up already for those of you who want to get ready for the games this week. So some CFL. We got this golf tournament tonight. I know we talked about this a little bit. I really have a much tougher time having strong opinions about the first couple rounds of the FedEx Cup playoffs than normal tour events when everyone's there starting off basically at the same spot. Like last week, Rory skipped the tournament, was in second, skipped the tournament, shows up this week. He's still in second. So like, I don't know, but you know that this year it has changed the Tour Championship. Like once they get to the Tour Championship, it's just going to be like a regular
straight up. Yeah, I remember us talking about that when it broke the one day we were on, I think, and it's like, okay, so now it's just straight up. There's no more starting strokes.
It is such a challenge for these guys to figure out a way that rewards players' performances throughout the year, but then also creates a fair and adequate playoff format. And I think this business with Rory missing last week, I think is going to be somewhat of a catalyst. Like I've heard a bunch of interesting thoughts on it. And one would be, you know what, you make the playoffs. And then everyone starts at the same spot.
Starts fresh in the playoffs.
You gotta, you know what? You want to advance from the 70, you got to be in the top 50 for the next tournament. You want to advance, from there. And if they did that, then obviously everyone would be playing because you can't miss. Like, put it this way. I know you get a bye in football if you're the number 1 seed, but you could have a really great season. You can't just decide, oh, I'm not going to play. I'll see you guys in the next round. And, my theory on all this is I think what they maybe need to do is dial back the money, like of the money, whatever, say it's $30 million that they're giving out for the FedEx Cup playoffs. So take 10 million of that if you want and distribute it through whatever, the top 10 on the year rankings. You know what? If you finish in the top 10 of the FedEx Cup, you're getting this bonus for what you did during the season. But then take the rest of it, including a fat ass prize for the winner of the Tour Championship, and have everybody that qualifies play, survive, and advance. I mean, to me, so like a Scheffler or Rory, listen, they're not getting completely screwed out of being the best players. They're getting an extra $1 million or $2 million for, winning the FedEx Cup.
Yeah.
But then it gives the integrity back to the playoffs. Like if you want it to be a playoff, you can't have guys playing without having any pressure on them to even show up. So I don't know whether this is going to be the way it goes, whether they change it again next year, but I will say this. I'm happy that we're not sitting here on the lock shop next week talking about, okay, what's the odds without strokes?
That was always frustrating, right? Like,
and then trying to calculate it.
Yeah.
Like, we got to take 9 off because Scotty Scheffler started at -9 and that sort of thing. So, but anyways, we got the BMW this week as the continue.
We might as well keep running with it then, Huss. I mean, we're going to talk about BMW Championship. We're already on the topic of golf. So when you look at the field this week, who are a few names that you like? Let's put together a little lock shop partner parlay here.
Well, you know what? As I say, I mean, I've kind of been, I loved what I saw from Ludwig last week. He had been pretty underwhelming, to be honest. And trust me, myself and Pat Gregoire know because we're often on him. And he just had sort of been off of it. He finished T10. I think he was T9 last week.
He was T9, yeah.
I do think the place to go is kind of lower down. Like I'm not expecting Rory to win after being gone for last week. So listen, that could blow up. Rory's, in around 7 or 8 to 1 or whatever.
Well, and Xander's next on the list, and he's been so inconsistent this year. But he needs this, right? He needs to perform well to move on in the playoffs right now.
He disappointed me. Yeah, he was disappointing in the round last week, and he wasn't really even close. I mean, if it was a no-cut event, he probably doesn't even make it.
Yeah.
So again, like I'm not sure whether I go right back to Xander this week, watch him win it, and go, we were on him last week and he wasn't there. But I do think that kind of further down the board is the place to go. Scotty Scheffler, who's obviously the huge favorite, he's going to be playing without his caddy, Ted Scott. And listen, I'm not going to say Scotty's success is all because of his caddy, but I think we saw it on Sunday in the final round. Like I think in most circumstances, he just goes out and wins that. And he had a couple uncharacteristic mistakes yesterday. And I think it's going to sort of be on him. So if there was ever a week to maybe stay away from Scotty, he's still going to be at the top of the board come next week when the Tour Championship starts. He's going to be there. I think this is probably it. And I'm not sure what's going on with Ted Scott, but hope everything's okay. I know he had to leave due to a family emergency and he's not back here. So probably a lot going on with those guys behind the scenes, which sort of takes us to that next group. I mean, I'm seeing after Rory and Scotty, a group of Oberg, Xander, and Tommy. And I mean,
you can't go Tommy though, can you?
I don't know what it would take me to bet. Wouldn't that be a great story though if he actually did come and finally win? But
I wanted to talk about on Lock Shop on Monday. I think I had it up. He's got 12 top 3 finishes in his tour. Like 12 top 3 finishes. You've been right there a dozen times and you just can't get it done. I feel so bad for laughing, but my God, man, find a way.
His second place finishes are some of the most agonizing defeats. I mean, who can forget? Arguably the greatest moment outside of Mike Weir winning the Masters, arguably the greatest moment in Canadian golf history, Nick Taylor's 70-yard putt or whatever to win the Canadian Open. Guess whose expense that came out of? Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah.
Sitting there watching on the side. All he can do is sit back and clap. I don't know, man. He's such a class act. And the fact, Feinberg was on the show yesterday. We talked about it for a minute. He said, you know what? He goes out, he blows it like that, another crushing loss. And then he just simply goes out and does a 4-minute interview being the classiest guy that you've ever seen before. I mean, there is a reason why people love the guy. I mean, he's very, very easy to cheer for. And I'll tell you what, when this streak eventually ends, he's too good not to win at some point. Even if it's the freaking John Deere, the Puerto Rico
something,
or something like that. It'll be good because the guy's been a winning machine on the Euro Tour. He's been right there.
Well, he's had one of the best seasons on the tour. Like he just can't find a way to win. So I want to be on him when he finally does it so I can be like, I was with Tommy when he won. But I also just don't know how you can ever, I mean, it's never paid off. So it's kind of a tough spot to be in.
But listen, you know where I'm actually going to go to is a guy, speaking of runner-ups, it's JJ Spawn.
What a weekend he had, eh? Man.
Doing a little digging around on, a lot of the, I mean, I don't really hammer a lot of the models. I'll just sort of look at some of the guys that I do respect that do a pretty good job in the space. And there's a lot of people that said just the numbers alone really point to JJ Spawn being very much a contender. He's obviously in great form with how well he played last week. Credit to Justin Rose and Rosie for getting that big win. But I think about earlier this year, I mean, he was at the Players. He gets right down to the end and he loses in the playoff. Well, he wasn't sort of one and done in the winner's circle. Very shortly out, the next thing he did was become a major champion. So I think with his game in and some kind of big question marks over a lot of the guys ahead of him, I don't mind JJ Spawn in between 25 and 30 to 1 to potentially win this tournament. Another guy that I think I'm going to put a little sprinkle on, you do have to be long at this. And our guy, Matt Fitzpatrick, playing pretty well, hitting the ball long and it has been more accurate lately. I mean, obviously when, you're spraying it, it's going to be tough. But I mean, I saw some numbers of some people picking Fitz and was looking at him in and around like the 25 number. Like I'm seeing 40s out there for Matt Fitzpatrick. And Fitz is a guy that, listen, he's getting ready for Ryder Cup. I mean, this is important to a lot of players right now that, might not automatically be on the team. He's going to be on the team. But I think a big performance in this tournament would go a long way for him. So, of those guys that I'm looking at for outrights, I think I'm going to take a couple longer shots. JJ Spawn and jump on Matty Fitz to see if he can make something. I'm looking at about 40 to 1 for him. And I don't know, closer to the game. To me, the Oberg number is just too short. Like if I was looking at
what would you want Oberg at? Because I like Oberg this week, and I see him right now at plus just over 2,000, just over 20 to 1.
Okay, see, that's not bad. I was seeing 18. Like, yeah. I kind of think he should be 25 or 28 or like in that group with some of those other guys. The problem is we know how good he is, how good he can be. And the minute he shows life, I think there's so many people that are jumping on Oberg. I didn't notice, and this was on me, I didn't see what these numbers opened at, so I don't know whether that's been a big mover. But as they say, if you were looking at somewhere in and around the 20s, I think Oberg probably, compared to the guys that we were just talking about, I mean, Fleetwood and Xander. I'm not in on Pat Cantlay. I mean,
where you come out on Cam Young this week?
Cam Young's been a lot better lately.
Yeah.
He had that win a couple weeks ago, and he was, I think, 70-1 or something like that when he finally won.
Yeah. He was 64 on Sunday too to finish solo 5th.
Well, listen, his problem is just sometimes he'll mix in a bad round. And, obviously at that level, you can't do it all. So JJ Spawn, I'm seeing 28, Matty Fitz at 40. And, one other guy that actually has one that was T9, I think, as well last week that I'll give some consideration as maybe a bit of a longer shot is Ben Griffin.
Yeah, actually, Ben Griffin's he's my third play today. I like Ben Griffin.
So, yeah, we're going for the Beamer. This won't be the case of the Tour Championship.
Yeah.
For the Beamer, a little further back, JJ Spawn playing really well. Give me a little piece of 40s on Benny Griffin, Matt Fitz.
Yeah, I mean, I like the JJ Spawn thing. We could definitely throw him into a top. Maybe what do we do here? Should we do 2 top 10s? Maybe we just each pick a top 10 guy. You want to just try to do a top 10? Yeah,
let's do that.
So you want to throw JJ Spawn in there? You want to do JJ? Okay, you go JJ Spawn because I like Ben Griffin. Only Scotty Scheffler has more top 10 finishes on tour this year than Ben Griffin, which is pretty insane. I don't know. I mean, this is a pretty good field. I think JJ Spawn, Ludwig Aberg. You want to go there? Should we do that?
Aberg?
Yeah.
I mean, you just said Ben Griffin, top 10 last week.
It would get us it gets a better number, undoubtedly. We could definitely, I do like him. I mean, I had Oberg, Young, and Ben Griffin as my 3 outrights this week. So,
dude, I think there's the win equity. Like I'll granted, I think there's a better chance of Ludwig just because of how good he is winning the tournament.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I actually think there might be a better chance of Ben Griffin top 10ing. Yeah, let's do Spawn and Ben Griffin.
So let's do Spawn and Ben Griffin. Griffin, I'm looking at is plus 210, top 10, and then Spawn's plus 185, which is a pretty good number. All right, so yeah, we'll get that up. You'll be able to find our EST specials page. Anything else on the BMW? Us?
Not really. I mean, with everything happening with football coming up, with the CFL mix, with the Jays run, and what's happening in baseball right now, for the most part, this golf season kind of feels like
pretty much wrapping.
This is all Ryder Cup preparation.
Yeah.
Although the Tour Championship, there's so much money on the line, everyone will be there for it. But I think this is the week we stay away from the guys at the top and see if we can make a little something happen for some bigger money further down the board.
Well, I mean, it's bigger money further down the board, but as you mentioned, I mean, JJ Spawn has been all around it this year, and I mentioned Ben Griffin's got 9 top 10s. So, I think it'll end up being a pretty good number. So I'll let you know when that pops up over at our partners for the Lock Shop at Play Alberta. Let's dive into some CFL line movement, Huss. As of this morning, the Elks were minus 3.5, and it was minus 1.5 when it opened. Let me see. It might have moved again here. No, it's still at 3.5. So here's where we're at now. Bombers, it was at 7. Remember when it opened? It's at 5.5 now. The Elks were at 1.5. They're now 3.5 point favorites. The Riders opened at 3. They're now 4. And this BC Lions line, MBT was placed on the 6 game today. You're getting the full Caleb Evans line right now. The Lions, if you loved them, you should have got on them earlier in the week when we were talking about it. That's now sitting at 6.5, Huss. Would you take the Lions by a touchdown at home against the Alouettes?
I still would, but as I said when we first talked about this on Monday when they were out, BC at 4.5, jump on that now because this is going to be a touchdown by the time they get to the weekend. And the fact that it's, what did you say, 6.5 now?
6.5 now.
6.5 now. Listen, I think this could be 7.5 or 8. This is going to
So
be
still get on it. Still get on number.
Yeah, listen,
Yeah.
I full go zone, anything under a touchdown on the BC Lions, if you ask me. That's my most confident pick of the week is the BC Lions, and I do think they sort of win. They probably win by double digits. To be honest, gun to my head, you're going to give me 7.5 or 8, and I have to make a pick. I'm not taking Montreal. I'm still taking BC.
The only hesitancy here for me, and I agree with you, like at this number, I'd still get on BC minus the 6.5. The only hesitancy here is, they're switching up the quarterback, but the quarterback hadn't been helping them anyway in Montreal. It's not like they've lost Davis Alexander again. They've lost MBT, who'd only won one football game with them the whole time, and it was a game in which Vernon Adams Jr. got hurt, and Calgary had to go to PJ Walker late. So, I don't know how much of a downgrade it'll be going to Evans from MBT, but I still like the Lions minus 6.
Well, let me ask you, if MBT was starting, would you feel any differently about this game? I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. So, it was a good, really, really good number earlier in the week. Still like the Lions on that one. What are your thoughts here out of market on this Elks going to 3.5, and you get the Argos plus 3.5? What are you still on Edmonton at 3.5, or that hook past the field goal is like, I'll go the Argos because the Elks are still the Elks?
Yeah, listen, I know I was on the Elks last week and I was feeling good about it. I've got so much respect for Cody Fajardo and what he's doing right now. I don't think the Elks are better than the Argos. And
you don't, hey?
I don't. Listen, I think the Argos...
I think it's a toss-up.
I can't believe what happened in that game last week. They were up 22-1. Like, the defense, and maybe we're going to get a heavy dose of Drew Brown tomorrow. We're going to say, oh, geez, well, you know what? That Ottawa offense is just cruising. That's why they were able to win that football game. I don't know how you can expect to win consistently with the defense that the Elks are rolling out and absolutely zero running game. Like, that's a lot to put on the shoulders of Cody Fajardo. And listen, the Argos record is what it is. But when you think back to the way that they've lost a few of the games that they've lost this year, last week, the week before against Winnipeg, the Saskatchewan game earlier this year, I just think the Argos are a far better team than what their record is right now. And you know what? Nick Arbuckle, for all the warts and the questions about him, he's actually playing really well. They put up 42 points on the board last week. So I actually kind of like the Argos to win this game. When I first saw it was plus 1.5, I think that was the first number that I saw this week, or at least when we were looking at CFL 110 yesterday. To me, it was tough. Could the Elks win? Absolutely. But, our Commonwealth is not really a massive home field advantage right now. It would be great for it to be that way. But, I can't see that being such a massive advantage for the Elks being at home. Like, for instance, the Bombers being at home, or the Riders being at home, or even the Ticats last week in a sold-out stadium. So Cody's going to ball out and he'll battle. But, if you're getting literally nothing from your ground game and you've got a defense that has been exposed in a big, big way. Put it this way. What's our conversation right now about this team if MBT doesn't serve up that meatball to Ford at the end of the first half?
To be determined, I think. That was a huge swing in the game. It's not like it was completely out of control, but that was a huge swing in that football game for sure.
Oh, listen, just to me, this feels like a massive overreaction. I could totally see the Elks winning this game, but right now, I think the line, and listen, I get it. There's been people in Edmonton, and when we're talking about play Alberta lines, with people in Alberta that are like, okay, finally we've got a quarterback, we can move forward. I just think there's more work to do, and I think people are completely writing off the Argos. Oh, and one other thing.
The Argos defense sucks too, though. right?
Well,
Like they like have the worst defense. Like they've allowed 292 points in 9 games. The Elks have allowed 241 in 8. So they're the 2 worst defenses in the league. It's not even remotely close, which is why in that one parlay, we took the total down to 47.5 and hammered it over.
Here's the one thing I'll say about the Argos defense. And again, maybe it's just that I've been watching the Bombers offense, which is stuck in quicksand right now. But I mean, you can look at points against. I mean, dig a little deeper into that game a couple Fridays ago here in the Peg. I mean, oh yeah, they gave up 40 points. They gave up 1 offensive touchdown in the football game. Now, hey, they all count.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just for a game like this, this was what I was going to say before. We remember earlier this year after the Saskatchewan game, and Dinwiddie just completely lost it and said there was going to be changes. We're going to get guys back, like really publicly called out his team. They bounced back with a strong game and they won. He basically did the same thing after the Ottawa game last week. Said, we don't have any dogs in here. And, you know,
how many times can you do that before your players are like, screw off, man? Like he's already played that card. Like I think you're making a lot of good points about the Argos, but that's the one thing to me. Like, I think it really comes down to what they think of their coach in this game. Like, I don't know. Like all year long, he's just torching guys.
I mean,
what's that?
The guy that's won 2 of the last 3 Grey Cups. Like, if they don't think much of their coach, they probably won't be there very long, and they're weeding that out. Like, we're going to see what the guys that he's throwing out there are made of this week. And I mean, this is a great opportunity to get a 3rd win and get back into the middle of it. Their season is over, done, not even on life support, over if they lose this game. So, listen, it's a tough call. It's certainly not one of my strongest plays this week on the CFL league, but especially now that it's at 3.5. I mean, to me, Toronto, like as a pick'em, it's a 50-50 game to me. At 3.5 for Edmonton, I'm definitely taking Toronto.
I think I saw Korolnik, who likes to dabble in it. He replied to one of Farhan's tweets today when he was talking about it. And Korolnik, who obviously covers the Argos, says getting the Elks under a field goal is an absolute steal. So I think he likes the Elks. Getting them under a field goal, he thinks, is a steal.
I had a funny thing with him. Well, he and I had the same conversation about the Argos Bomber game.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago. Now, again, the Bombers did cover the spread, but it was the most ridiculous, unlikely, and frankly undeserved cover that I think we've seen all year. I mean, if I would have told you a team got outgained, all that, scored 1 offensive touchdown, and gave up 31 points, you would think that there's 0 chance that they would have been able to cover a 6.5 point spread, and yet they did. We almost got the miracle on the field goal at the end of the game that would have made it a 6-point spread and cashed that ticket. But listen, I have no reason to support the Argos right now. I went 3-1 last week on the spread, and it ruined a beautiful 4-gamer that would have paid out at like 13-1. So I don't know. I've been burned by the Elks before. As impressed as I am with Cody Fajardo, I can't sit here and tell you that there's a whole bunch of aspects of their game that are getting so much better. So I as I said, I'm with where the line is right now, I will be on Toronto on Friday Night Football. I apologize to the nasties that we're expecting better from me.
You know what has to happen now, Huss, right? I'm going to be calling this game. And if Edmonton wins and covers on the call, I have to say, see us, you see what happens when you doubt the double E at Commonwealth Stadium and play Alberta Field.
No doubt. And by the other side, if it does come down and the Argos are running away with us, you can say, A wise man told me this week that the Argos maybe are better than the record, and the Elks still has some work to do.
You know what? I will say this. I will say this. If that does happen, I will say, chatting with some people around the league this week, there are some who think the Argos are better than their record leads us to believe. I could pass that off, but just so you know, if I do say that
around the league,
you're that guy. You're that guy who's the person around the league. And anybody who's listening or watching right now at EST will be like, they'll be pointing at the TV like, Dusty said what I said. So yeah, there's that. All right. So want to go baseball here, Huss, or what? What else?
Where are you for tomorrow's game right now?
What are we at? What's the number? What did I say? 5.5. Oh, your guys' game. Yeah. I think I'm really torn on this one.
Did you hear Terrell Bonds is out for the season?
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but I'm not sure that hurts them much. Like
did you see who was going in when he was out last week?
Well, but I also think that guy's been caught on about 1 million double moves already this year. Like
he basically is out for the season after getting juked by a move so badly.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of, he's been torched. He buys in. I mean, he's not like some of the guys that he was been meant to replace. Who replaced? Like, I know they got Vavel in there a little bit, but what happened? Yeah. What's the plan now?
Vavel's starting now. So Vavel's starting and Lawson is starting.
Dexter Lawson Jr. Yeah.
And he was a backup. He got into the lineup last week. We saw what happened. Dietrich Nichols, Evan Holm, Retta Cranby.
Yeah.
The two halfbacks, and Cranby's playing safety. The problem is that they moved Cranby around a few times.
Jake Kelly got torched.
Jake Kelly came in, and that was a very, very difficult assignment for him. I mean, they need Willie Jefferson and Vaughters so badly right now. It seems the only time the defense is really able to get off the field is when those guys are impactful early on in drives. And then all of a sudden you're setting up second and long. And even the second and longs are sort of 50-50 right now for the Bombers. But man, like I'm sitting here, we talked about it on CFL 110. We'll get into it as well on WST. Like Drew Brown in this Ottawa offense. I mean, he had as many touchdowns as he had incompletions last week. And, you know, in a position where they knew they're not running the football, you're throwing it all day, and they were able to do it. Now, again, maybe that's just the Argo defense was that bad. But I'm sort of buying into the offensive weapons that Ottawa has. And I think they're going to get theirs against this Bomber defense, which means Winnipeg is going to need to outscore Ottawa.
They need to outscore. Yeah.
Listen, as a Bomber guy, if they can outscore them by 1, I will take it. Like, I have a very hard time, much like I just said about Edmonton, I'll say the same thing about Winnipeg right now. I've got a hard time wrapping my head around laying a significant number for that team, not only to win, but to cover by. So I've been on Ottawa since we saw the number come out at 6, and I'm still there right now. I'm just hoping, the Bomber fan in me is just hoping they can find a way to win, but you will not see me laying anything on the Bombers to cover. That being said, a million times before, we've seen the Bombers be in similar situations, come out, look like a different team at home, and roll over them. To me, do you have any, are there any props for Oliveira yet up there?
No, there are not, but I can probably see what we would have available. Let me take a quick look.
I will say that I'm fully endorsing Brady Oliveira props for tomorrow.
Okay, so see, this is interesting because that's what I was going to look at. I was just bringing up the CFL game notes. Ottawa has the 3rd best rush defense in the league. And like when you said Ottawa's going to have to outgun them, I'm like, okay, well, how much is Brady going to have to be involved? Because I'm not sure my confidence is in Zach right now to kind of have a big game, right? So I'm with you on Ottawa plus 5.5. And I think, you know, my only hesitancy here is the history of the Bombers. for the last 5 years. 5.5 is a big number for Drew Brown, who absolutely slings it, going into a matchup with Justin Hardy and Geno Lewis against two guys who've like started 2 games in their CFL career corner. You know, like it's a respect play for the Bombers if you're on the minus 5.5.
Well, it's a respect line for the reputation of the Bombers as well.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
This should be 3. This should be 3. I would argue you could make the argument that this should actually be shorter than 3. Like on a neutral field right now, based on what we saw last week, who would win? I mean, listen, Ottawa and this offense right now, it scares me. You mentioned that third-ranked defense. That's great. The Bombers are still going to need to run it. And Brady's so determined, and he's sort of different than a lot of the other guys. Like, I think he'll be able to get his, and it's a huge challenge for this offensive line to step up a little bit more. And if they can do that with Brady on the ground, that I think will loosen things up a little bit more for Zach Collaros. And man, they need a good game from Zach. I mean, you could say there's been a lot of things that have hampered him so far this year. The offensive line, receivers not getting open and all that. But he's also made some mistakes. And if you look at the West, Rourke's been better. VA's been better. Trevor Harris has been better. And at least over the last couple of weeks since he's been starting, Cody Fajardo's been better. So, man, it's pretty tough to win games like that. So hopefully it will be better for the Bombers. But I do think Brady's going to get a lot of opportunities in this game, both on the ground and in the air.
Yeah, I mean, he was heavily involved through the air last game, more than I think. That had to have been a career high 9 catches. I mean, I've done pretty much every Brady Oliveira starting game, like a lot of them. I don't think he's ever had 10
why
catches.
Do you think that was?
Why?
Because none of their receivers were ever open. I mean, their top receiver had 32 yards.
Yeah, they weren't getting open. Zach would look, they weren't there, and then it was just like boom, Brady, boom, Brady, boom, Brady.
Or a sack on second down.
Yeah. I'm looking at Brady Oliveira, 72.5 rushing yards, Huss. Would you smash that over, or would you try to look for a combination of through the air and on the ground type of thing?
I would do that, and then I would be more than happy to look at some sort of combined yardage in excess of 100 yards. I would love that. I actually thought that number might be closer to 80. I mean, like he had 60 something. He's still like, even in a game like that last week, he had 1 carry in the second half. And he was averaging almost 6 yards a carry. Like there's a lot of pressure on Jason Hogan to figure it out. And whether it's the line or the receivers or what, the one thing that you can count on is Brady Oliveira. So I think early and often he gets the football, and hopefully from a Bomber perspective, they'll be able to keep giving it to him throughout the game and find a way to get a win right now with BC hot on their tail and with a very nice matchup at the end of the slate.
All right, what do you want to do with the Jays today, Huss? What do you think about the Jays? We hit yesterday. We did Jays to score first. Jays money line. Worked out well. They scored super early. They ended up winning. It was plus 162 cash. So that was a nice way to sort of start this series for the Jays. What do you like today?
Ooh, we got Gosman on the hill versus Cade Horton. Yes, straight up. I mean, I think we got to keep on rolling with the Jays on the money line. By the way, did you see Shapiro last night
in the crowd?
The boys up in the section, the gate 14 section.
Everybody loves him.
Listen, I'll give Johnny and Avery, the guy that do that podcast. If you're a Jays fan, I mean, you've probably seen Johnny ranting on X, but the passion is amazing, and they've kind of been there from the start as believers. And Shapiro came on the show earlier this year, and I think got a lot of goodwill with the fans. And then they were all there last night in their section, and he was up there in the 500s. And the funniest thing is, if you see that video, as he's walking up, he's high-fiving all the fans. He gets right up to the top row where the guys from the podcast are there as Ernie Clement goes yard and hits that home run. It was a really, really cool video. Anyways, love the Jays. Total bases. This is something that I've had some fun with, and you've got a few options. Where is Bo? Like you can get more than 2-1 on Bo over 2.5 bases. I mean, it's kind of, but he's almost good for 2 every game right now. It's actually in minus money. What did Vladdy had 3 hits last night? I had one with Vladdy to get 2 hits and an RBI and a Jays win, and he had everything, but he didn't get the RBI. There weren't people on base ahead of him. Ernie Clement keeps on rolling. He's plus 156 on over 1.5 bases. And then Vlad keeps on rocking. Is this I'm just do a quick look. Is this guy that's pitching a righty or a lefty for the Cubs?
I am not sure.
Let's find out here. ESPN, MLB scores. Cubs and Blue Jays. Cade Horton, 6-3, 3.18 ERA. So he actually has had. Where do we find that out? Bat versus pitch. Not a lot of guys that have ever faced him. Ty France is the only guy that's faced him in the Blue Jays lineup. Last 5 games, 3 straight really nice starts.
He's a righty.
Wow.
Yeah.
He hasn't given up an earned run since early July. A 6-1 win in his last outing, 1-0 against Baltimore before, and he's going 5-6 innings every game. They do have to get out to the bullpen. But, before I hadn't really got into the Jays game too much, but listen, with what Vlad and Bo are doing right now, I mean, if you want to get aggressive and pitch on I think just basically looking at how good this guy's been lately, I probably won't jump on a homer props.
Yeah.
But the over 1.5 total bases is a nice one. Some hits. Well, where are you at on this one?
No, I've already kind of looked at it. We had, what did we throw up? Earlier today, we threw up, it's a bigger number. We got a little carried away on the morning show today. We had Jays money line, Jays to score first, which is a little concerning when we go into those numbers. And then a Kirk hit and a Vladdy hit, and it's like plus 620. And I do like, you said it with Bo Bichette. I mean, he's getting 2 total bases basically every single game. And I'm looking at minus 104 right now for over 1.5. So, I mean, almost basically a pick 'em for lack of a better term, but to throw that in with the money line, you're actually going to get a pretty good number on it. So I don't hate that.
Minus 133. I don't mind. Just a straight up money line action on it. Although, to be honest with you, the Jays have not. They're so good right now. We're just expecting them to win every night. But Cubs are really good. I think this is a game where I won't blow my brains out on it. We'll bet them to win. We'll have a little fun with the Bo or Vlad prop. Maybe if we look at the, when we get the lineup later on today, I'm not sure whether, all the regulars are going to keep on, are going to stay in. We might see a guy get a day off. And if that's the case, maybe someone else in the lineup, you can get at a big number to get a hit or something like that. But right now, with everything's at stake, it is sort of funny. It's just riding Jay's money lines right now.
Yeah.
And,
with the numbers they have right now, it's not bad, actually. I don't mind that. Hey, I want to get to one before we let you go, Huss. Came in early in the show, in the chat a little bit earlier on. It was a fantasy trade. Sobe Kirk, he says, guys, fantasy question. Would you trade Garrett Wilson away for the 5th overall pick in a dynasty league? My other relevant keeper wideouts are Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf, Wan'Dale Robinson, Denzel Mims. Not necessarily ideal. But would you trade Garrett Wilson away for a top 5 pick in a dynasty league this year? So you'd be looking at, it's kind of tempting when you look at some of the rookies this year that you would be like,
Here, I'm going to pull this up right now. So assuming you're basically looking at, Here are your rookie rankings.
Okay,
and this is
give them to me.
This can you go around. Ashton Jonty, number 1, he's going to be gone.
He's gone.
O'Marion Hampton, he's going to be gone for sure. Then you get into the top couple wideouts, McMillan from Carolina and Travis Hunter from Jacksonville. I think it's probably safe to say that he will be gone. And then, Travion Henderson, running back from New England.
Apparently, he's had a good camp.
Yeah, he has. Emeka Egbuka, Tampa, wide receiver 3. And then the guy, I had the 5th pick in my dynasty, I had 6th. And I think I could have taken Henderson if I wanted to. And it came down to to either Emeka Egbuka from Tampa, but I went with Tyler Warren from Indy. And I got a bit of a crush on this guy. I was in Kansas City. We were watching one of the bowl games. He was playing for Penn State, and he was just looking like I started dreaming about the Chiefs getting him to just seamlessly move from Kelsey to Tyler Warren. I absolutely love him. But to be honest, Garrett Wilson with a brand new deal, unbelievable player. Like, I get it that Justin Fields is the quarterback. That's
a bit of a concern, right? Like,
but again, this is still a dynasty league.
Yeah, it's a dynasty league. Those two guys go back to university. So, actually,
I forgot about that. That's right. They did play together at Ohio State, didn't they?
There's a connection there. Look, it's a dynasty league. He's got a lot of good years left. If you have a team that you think can win like this year or next year, I would probably hang on to Garrett Wilson. But, I'm looking at your receiver group right now, and I don't see, Cooper Kupp making a huge impact this season. I think I have more time for it than Huss does, but I'd probably hold on to Garrett Wilson and see how this plays out. If you really decide you want to move him, I don't hate the longer play on Egbuka. Matthew Golden in Green Bay, even later on, later. Not for this year, but like for the next couple of years. But I think the play here is probably to hang on to Garrett Wilson and see how it goes this year. Who else are they going to throw the ball to there? Like, Garrett Wilson should have an insane amount of targets. But with that said,
if you're PPR,
they might not throw the ball a ton because it's Justin Fields, but he should get a good target share.
The OC should be fired if they don't have 50% of their offense dialed into making a point of getting him open, getting the ball in his hands, and then just letting the guys make plays. Like, I think he'll get tons of targets and tons of catches. Whether they'll be able to get him down the field, I guess we'll see. But assuming that it's PPR scoring, I'm taking Garrett Wilson, and I'm not even sure I'd do that for the 3rd pick. I'll have a lot of time if we're talking about Genty or Hampton. Other than those guys, I'm not as scared about the quarterback situation in the Jets, and especially knowing that, he's only been in the league for 2 years. He's got a long time ahead of him. Elite player. I'd keep Garrett Wilson.
All right, Oz, what's coming up in WST, buddy? We got to get you out here.
Dunk's jumping on. We'll get into some CFL talk. Mike McIntyre, and it's been a minute, but the maniac himself, Gabriel Morency, coming on the show today. We'll talk some more NFL, look ahead to the upcoming season, and see what's cooking in Sports Rage's world. So, coming up in about 5 minutes over at WST. And don't forget, new CFL 110 is up as well for those that appreciate the 3-down game.
There you go. That is us from Winnipeg Sports Talk. Before we wrap, we got Oil Stream coming up. We're going to talk about the biggest blunder that has stopped them from winning a Stanley Cup. I got a ton of replies on Twitter. It should be a really fun Oil Stream today. Here's what we've added during the show today. The grandest of parlays is up. It's plus 1685. JJ Spawn and Ben Griffin both to top 10 at the BMW Championship, plus 830. And then the Jays partner parlay that I just sent to them is already up. Jays to win, Bo Bichette total bases, 2+, so over 1.5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different options right now on the EST specials page. Now I know some of you, if you are, like I said, they've done some updates to the website and the app, I believe. If you click on EST specials right now, it takes you to the game lines. But because we don't technically have the game lines there, it says loading, please try another filter. So then all you have to do is click on outrights. So when you click on EST specials, you click on outrights, and that takes you to where all of our bets are. And then if you can't see all 6, you just hit show more and it pops up. All right. So EST specials, outrights, and then you'll find the 6 different plays that we've got there. The Jays to win, Vladdy a hit, Kirk a hit, Jays to score first, plus 620. Imagine if they score in the first inning and one of those guys has a hit, then we are live at plus 620, which is exciting for sure. All right, Oil Stream is coming up next. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, brief promo. We'll get this thing going here as quickly around noon as we can. If you're watching over on YouTube today, smash the thumbs up for the Lock Shop before you leave, and we'll slide on over, turn on autoplay. That'll take you right over to the Oil Stream today. Thank you very much for joining us on Lock Shop today. Brought to you by Play Alberta. Best of luck if you're riding with us tonight, and we will talk to you tomorrow.